Yeah, I've noticed this for a very long time, and I want those who are having issues with being stalked and harassed to get a heads up as to one of the things that some of these guys do. And I'm going to tell you, it's really sick. I've watched and I noticed it out of Mr. and Mrs. Carpenter a very, very long time ago. In fact, when we were still over at Maple Grove, and I had just had Tiara, we were driving over Mishawaka, and I started to notice that they seemed to pop up everywhere we were. And so I'm sitting up here looking at this, and it's funny because at the time, I didn't pay them no attention. I didn't bother with them, but I had people all over the place coming back and telling me that Tara was saying all this crap online. And I have her blocked on my Facebook, so I don't know that she talks smack. I really don't care. But my purpose here is this: these guys were so methodical about what they were doing and trying to set me and my family up. They learned my patterns to the point where they were able to track us and go ahead of us in certain circumstances to give the impression that we were following them when they were actually stalking us. We had this happen in Mishawaka by the mall. In fact, the day that it happened, there was like 40 police that were sitting in the parking lot of the building that's next to the Wendy's across from the mall. It's a big shopping area. It has a huge parking lot. And again, there's like 40 police, and they had their lights going crazy all over the place. Then there was another situation that we had where we had decided to go to Golden Corral. And this is when I realized that she was listening in. Tara and Pank were hacking into my phone and listening to our conversations, because how would they even know that we were going to go to Golden Corral unless A, somebody told them, or B, they were in my phone? Well, I had other people give me hints that people were listening in on my conversations. I just didn't know how. So my purpose here is this: we went to Golden Corral, and right after we got there, we were there getting a parking space, and here comes Tara and Pank in their SUV, the Expedition, riding in circles around us. Well, after that, we didn't pay them any attention. I never really do. I just blow them off, and so they usually come at me when there's an altercation. It's usually them being the aggressor towards me. So we go into the Golden Corral, and I have pictures of that day that this occurred. There was an Latino couple that was sitting across from us, and I recognized the man. That's not my purpose, though. Here they were. After we sat down, we got our food and sat down and started eating, we saw them circle the Golden Corral again. This type of stuff goes on with them constantly. We thought that because we were put out that it was going to stop. However, when we got over to Van Buren County, we're sitting at the park over there, where the island is, where they've got the liquor store within 150 feet of the kids park over there. We were sitting over there at the park, like we usually did last summer, because we were homeless and had been wrongfully put out of our trailer over there in Maple Grove. Here comes Mr. Carpenter. He gets so bold as to come into the parking lot and get out of his vehicle and stand around and talk to somebody. I don't really pay him no attention like that. You don't see me go run up to him, and, it's not that type. I don't want nothing to do with him. And law enforcement can tell that. When they see that a person is not trying to be bothered with somebody, they won't bother with them. They will leave from the area that person is at, which is exactly what I do. And so I think these guys realized that a long time ago. After the incident that happened at Dollar General that you see me post, that was Tara who was hollering, a child. I have a child who witnessed this. It's so sad that she is bringing children into the situation and coercing them into lying and manipulating the law. It's such a disgrace to see somebody who claims to be so righteous and so honest and pure be so deceitful and manipulative. For her to continuously bring children into the situation, knowing that they don't have anything to do with it. It's her own jealousy and hatefulness and bitterness that is causing the situation. I told Tara when I lived on Lau Street, I did not want her husband. That was hers, and I gave them my blessing. What do I want with that? And I know it's a pedophile, and he burnt my daughter with a space heater because of his own neglect. He abused and threatened my son. So why would you think I would want that? That's not even a temptation to me. And then I look at him, and I've got people all over the place telling me that they've got HIV and they think it came from him. In fact, I believe that's when my cousin Corey got it. Not to be funny, but since we're running our mouth, let's tell the whole story. Mr. Carpenter told me and my son, after I was done dealing with him, that he was bisexual. And when he got out of prison, he used his check that they issue you when you leave prison in order to have a male service him. So this is the type of mentality that we're dealing with here. So this man told me that he's bisexual after I was done messing with him. After that, that was the end. I didn't want nothing else to do with him like that. So here's what that situation is. I want people to know and understand that these guys will learn your patterns and try to give the impression that you are stalking them when they are in fact the perpetrators. I've watched them do it in my case repeatedly. And, you know, with Amazon coming here yesterday and them not stopping, them going to they did a circle out here. And I'm going to tell you that I noticed that, and so did other people that were here. My son saw it too. I wish I would have got it on video. But for them to stop and not deliver anything, that's suspicious. That's the same type of stuff that I'm talking about. When they're manipulating the GPS to give the impression that they either delivered something or that you were there after them and you're following them. So pay attention to that. If you know you're being stalked or harassed, that's one of the tricks that these guys use to try to deflect attention and deflect responsibility. With God's love, God bless America. Have a blessed day. In fact, the badge.